Every step you take builds a better you.
Hi, welcome back. This is Sharon from Best Self. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a certified personal trainer. Today we're going to talk about self-talk. I think having healthy self-talk is the most worthwhile thing that you can do for yourself. Yesterday I competed in a figure competition, and it was a bucket list item that I've wanted to do since I was 20 years old, and my goal, quite frankly, was to get up there on stage and do it. And I didn't care if I won, I didn't care if I placed, but I got third place. And this is really cool because I didn't expect that. Problem is that there's 3 competitors. So I could frame that as a positive, like, wow, I got third place, I didn't really expect that. Or I can turn it around and make it really negative. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about how we can use our self-talk to fuel ourselves to keep trying to be our best. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna create some healthy self-talk that you actually believe. We're gonna work on reframing your self-talk that's negative, and also taming your self-talk in ways of using movement, meditation, and mindfulness to help you reframe. So your self-talk comes from a past part of yourself. It's usually from your inner critic. It could have been messages that you've gotten growing up from your parents, from teachers, from other people in your environment. And usually it's pretty critical of you. So one line of fire when it comes to attacking your negative self-talk and turning it around to something positive is you want to dispute it. So when you dispute it, you're actually coming up with a positive past experience to rebuttal the negative self-talk. So after you dispute your negative self-talk with a positive past experience, another great thing to do is to surround yourself with other people. When you surround yourself with other people, you'll often find that there's people in the group that have it much harder than you do. And if you are at a really low point, you'll find that you aren't alone. So I think it's very beneficial. It might sound really mean, but I think it's very beneficial to keep in mind that other people might be struggling as well, and they might have it a little bit worse than you. And sometimes when you can break yourself out to see it from that point of view, it helps change your self-talk. So another thing you can do is you can ask yourself, well, what if this was your child? What if this is your best friend going through this? What is it that you would say to them to be helpful and supportive? A lot of times I'll have people write it down to counteract their own negative self-talk. Have some downtime and you think about what went on that day, maybe what could have been a little bit better about the situation, and what you did well. So giving yourself a block of time where you can sort of let the thoughts spin in your mind is very valuable. We call that worry time. And usually worry time is done where you collect things that you want to worry about during the day, and then you set the timer for 10 to 15 minutes and you write down what you're worried about. I like to do worry time in a very different way. I like to be really active with my worry. I have a rule that I cannot sit with my worry. I have to do something to make it sort of run through my body and run through my mind. So usually I will use my walk time and my run time to worry. And when I worry, I will be really proactive about it. I'll ask myself, well, what worked about it? And what's one small action step that you can take to make it a little bit better next time you do that? So I like to run or walk with it. I also like to vacuum with it. I like to clean with it. If you're moving as you're having these conversations with yourself, it's a far different quality than ruminating all day long without the parameters of the activity and the time frame. So practice using worry time when you're walking in nature, when you're cleaning. And if you find yourself ruminating about something or worrying about something at another time, stop yourself and say, I'll worry about that during worry time. And know that every time you stop yourself from worrying and ruminating about something, you're actually building a new pathway in your brain to make you a better person. So if you catch yourself worrying, say, oh, okay, I'm worrying again, and boom, stop it. And train yourself with every thought that you take to stop and put it aside and worry about it during worry time so that you can be in the present moment. So another thing you can do is when you're worrying, you can just simply notice when you're worrying, and that act within itself is called being mindful. So it's just noticing that you're worrying and naming it. Oh yeah, I'm worrying again. But the difference is that you don't have any judgment about catching yourself worrying. And you look at that as like progress to notice it and stop it in the moment. You can also notice that you're worrying and focusing on your breath and count your breath and say, let it go. Or you can go into an affirmation that you tell yourself to let go of the worry. So I believe that working on your self-talk is the best thing that you can do for your mind, and quite frankly, it's the only way to live. When you go in there and you develop a game plan for yourself to only worry in the certain time and to have the worry time be really constructive, think about, okay, what went well, and maybe just one thing that you could have done better to fine-tune it, and then you let go of it while you're doing some sort of activity is just a better way to let it go through your body. So I'm going to encourage you to create some worry time for yourself. But when you worry, you're going to be very productive. I believe every thought you have creates a better you. Thanks for watching.
Remember, every step you take builds a better you.